They haven't. So far they've been really supportive. They've been here in some emergency capacities. Just like any community, we've had issues that we haven't been able to deal with ourselves, so we've had to call some emergency services. Anytime they've come in, they've been extremely respectful, so there haven't really been any problems. As far as laws and rules that we're following right now, we had a walkthrough from the City Codes Commission. So the Director of Codes and the Fire Marshal came in, take a look around, showed them our generator, showed them all our power and propane stuff. And they were pretty much okay with it. So as of right now, we're doing okay. They did put down a recent memorandum of understanding that they wanted us to sign, but with no incorporation and with no real leadership, there's no one to really sign it. So there are some rules they want us to follow, and we're going with them to, we're meeting with them today at 4 o'clock to continue the dialogue and keep that open.
So you mentioned that they want you to follow. Do you feel that those rules are fair?
Some of them I understand are for like public safety, but some of them would severely hinder our ability to stay here and practice our free speech and right to assemble. Some of those things involve the heating situations, the size of the tents and what types of structures we're allowed to have here. So that would severely hinder how long we'd be able to stay here for the winter.
So how long are you planning on staying here?
Indefinitely.
Okay. Awesome. So, has there been any incidents involving security and how it wasn't safe here at all? Has there been any?
Absolutely. We have a small group of people that are identified as people safety, and they'll stay up all through the night so we have a constant presence here. And they're also identifiable throughout the day. Most of them have purple armbands on. So if there are any issues of safety, that they're pretty much the ones delegated to take care of it. You know, we are in the city, we are in a public space, so we have a lot of people who may be intoxicated or may just be looking for trouble passing through here. So they take care of a lot of that.
So are you a leader in this, or did you hear about this? And if so, how did you hear about it?
I'm not a leader in this. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody who says they are a leader in this, and if they are, they're probably not.
It's a group thing.
This is a leaderless movement right now. It's really put together by everybody's tenacity and willingness to do work and put forward what they can. I got involved in this just through community outreach. I've been involved since the first General Assembly happened. We had 3 General Assemblies before we ever even decided to occupy this space. So I've been to all those meetings and kind of been in it since the ground level.
Awesome. Has there been any, I know that there was that whole issue with everybody had to move because it was on state land rather than city land?
Yeah, that was the park over there. There really wasn't too many people. I guess they were originally set up over there. Like I haven't been here since it first started. I've been kind of in and out because I work and stuff. But I guess they were originally set up over there, and they made us move over here. They've actually been trying to get all these guys moved over here too, because they want the park to be open a little bit for people who aren't sleeping here.
Okay.
But that shows you some dedication, right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Movement and a large amount of people, so it can't go unnoticed. How are you today? Very good. They don't want us to do nothing. They want to die. They want us to go home. We don't want to die. We don't want to go home. So we're going to keep moving.
So,
Well, I'm an author. My name's Joanne Kathleen Farrell, and I wrote a novel about Irish history. I'm a writer, and I write on the internet. Have you ever heard of Hub Pages or some of the internet literary sites where people, independent writers, write articles? That's what I do for a living, so I'm able to be here a little longer than other people because of my job. Nobody here is in charge. I've been a little outspoken on the news. You may have seen me on the news because I've spoken on the news quite a bit. But that doesn't mean me in charge. Everybody here is people trying to form a little democracy that's functional. And so what I'm doing here is we're trying to fight corporate corruption in America. And we feel that we're not only dependent on oil, we're dependent on everything because we're not making things here. So what happens? So then there's no manufacturing jobs. Back in my mother's day, there were factories all over Albany, Troy, Waterville, Cohoes, and you just could walk to work. You know, you could take a trolley to work or a bus to work and you'd just be there and you didn't have a long commute. And your stores, I live in Rensselaer, which is directly across the river. My mother's in her 80s. She could tell you years ago, and we can make it like this again, where there was the hardware store in the corner and there was the barber shop and the beauty shop and there was a jewelry store and then there was a bakery. Now it's all a freaking Walmart. And this isn't right. So back to the goods, where they come from. Businessmen and women from America and Britain and places like that, these business people fly over there and they have lots of money, so they buy up everything over there from these factories. And then they sell it to Walmart or Target or all the stores at the mall, you know, Old Navy, all these people that have these products in the stores, and that's where the stuff comes from, and that's why so many people are out of work. So in that kind of environment, what happens next is people are scrambling for a buck. So then you start having corruption on Wall Street and very crooked trades going on because everybody's trying to struggle to make money and make more. And people are taking advantage of banking and home mortgages and things like this. Because if everybody was working and everybody was contributing to the tax base, there wouldn't be all these problems. But this is what this is the main core of everything that we're working for. So then the corruption becomes in Wall Street. And then it's crime. We have a boy here that's just maybe a little bit older than you guys. He's 18. His brother shot to death in the streets here because there's so much drugs and crime, because people do that when they don't have money. People may steal if they don't have money. People may just give up and say, I'm just going to go on social services. I can't make enough of the franchise to pay for my rent and my heat and my lights, so I don't know what else to do, so I'm going to apply for food stamps and apply for social programs and things like that because they're desperate. And then the more and more people that do that, then what happens to the middle class? Then they start getting angry, right? And they start saying, well, hey, we pay all the taxes. Because so many people aren't working, they're not helping pay for the police, the water, the fire department, the schools. So that's like, and I don't care if you tape it, you can tape this. It doesn't even stop there. It even gets worse than what I've told you, if you can believe that.
Like, I know that the cops are involved in at least Occupy Wall Street. I don't know how much of an involvement they have here.
They've been very supportive of us because once we talk to them, first of all, let me start from this. We stay peaceful here. We're you know, and it's not always easy, especially when you have somebody ride by and say something mean to you. But we have to remember, as tempting as it is, we have to remain peaceful. So when we do that, we earn the respect of other older people in the community, including the police. And then they say, well, these people aren't so bad. They're not bashing their head in the sidewalk when they yell at them and be mean to them. They just hold up a peace sign instead. And then that earns their respect. So we haven't had the conflict with the police so far that other Occupies have. And we're hoping to continue that kind of relationship with them. But to answer your question about free speech, in that is also free press. And what's frustrating to people is what I told you, I've told to the news. How many people have heard me say that on the news? Nobody. And is that free speech? Is that free press? But see, they can't say that on the news and tick off their advertisers, because their banking advertisers might drop them. Their home mortgage advertisers may drop them. That franchise that's advertising may drop them. And so they're limited on what they can say. That's not free press. And that certainly limits your free speech. So a lot of us here that are older feel like we're fighting for you guys because you deserve a country where you can get an education and come out of school with a job, whether it's manufacturing or something. And that's not how it is right now. It's not only going to get harder unless things change.